I don't know about the rest of you, but my personal dream has always been to play as a giant killer teddy bear. So after months of knowing that it was supposed to come to the game, it being teased ages ago, the Naughty Bear skin has finally entered the game. You can currently purchase it, although by the time you see this video, this price might be different. But when I'm recording this video, you can currently purchase it for 1,500 Auric cells, or whenever it comes off of its sale for 2,000 Auric cells, which is kind of expensive. But if you're wondering, with it, you get a completely unique skin with unique animations, unique lobby introduction, unique literal voice lines, and a brand new Mori for the Trapper. Now, I will tell you that I am kind of disappointed that this entire thing is tied to the literal worst killer in the game, so the amount of times you're going to see this Mori is directly proportionate to how stupid and bad the survivors you're playing against are, but we'll digress for now. The point is that this is a giant step forward for Behavior for showing us what they are capable of adding in the future. If you don't know, there is a sister game to Dead by Daylight called Dead by Daylight Mobile, which is not run by Behavior. It's run by a completely separate company. And there are a lot of features in Dead by Daylight Mobile that people have been clamoring for to come to Dead by Daylight. And one of those things is new Moris that we can purchase. Now, for all the complaining that people do about the monetization of Dead by Daylight, gamers are suckers. You give us shiny things, we are like magpies. We want the shiny things. You put new Moris for our killers in front of us, killer mains are going to give you money. This is just a proven fact. I'm not talking above anybody in this. I will fucking live off of imagining what food tastes like if it means I get to kill people in a funny, haha, unique way. That being said, with the introduction of this, my one hope is that they do not tie customizable Moris to skins in the future. I understand why this one is kind of tied to a skin. Maybe it's testing the grounds. It's a lot easier to make one animation than it is to make however many animations the skin has. There's a giant clipping issue with some Moris in the game right now, specifically with Myers, and I can only imagine the headache that it is for animators that every time you would put a new Mori in the game, you would have to go through all of that killer's skins and make sure that the animation matches with every single skin they have. And I get that that's a lot of work. So what they would probably end up doing is people were thinking like, oh, $5 for a Mori. It'd probably be like $10, $15 even for a new Mori. So the idea is to just cut the cost or cut the work of getting multiple animations whilst charging the same price that you would anyway, and just giving it to one skin. I like to think Behavior is better than that, but I also am very aware of the realistic of the way that companies work. So my biggest fear, and one of the reasons I've titled, or one of the things that I've been thinking about since it came out, was the fact that future Moris will be tied to skins, and more than likely they'll be tied to licensed skins, means that you won't be able to purchase them for iridescent shards, which just cripples free-to-play players even more in a game that's pay-to-play. Every time I bring up the free-to-play thing, by the way, people are like, oh, actually, I paid money for the game. Yeah, we're talking about after you bought the base game, whether or not you're a free-to-play player. So I'm not overly happy about that. What I am happy about is the idea that Behavior can start to bring more unique and interesting skins into the game. Skins that completely and utterly change the look of the killer. They've sort of done this before with the Resident Evil chapters and some of the licensed skins that have come to killers, but it's always pretty much been the same silhouette. But Naughty Bear is a completely different silhouette. He looks like a completely different killer. And this is something that really hasn't been done before to killers outside of, again, like Blight, I guess, with that really weird dude from Resident Evil that has the big eye or whatever over here. Like, that is a different silhouette, but it's still recognizable as the Blight. The silhouette of the Naughty Bear is recognizable as Naughty Bear. It doesn't look like Trapper with a bear suit on. It looks like Naughty Bear. And that's really good, and that's really interesting, and it shows that they can do that. However, a secondary fear that I have is that instead of giving us new killers in the future with new interesting powers, they're going to opt to just make skin collaborations. And so we'll end up getting a bunch of these skins for killers we already have just so we can get unique Moris, but the actual active gameplay is not going to be changed. You know what I mean? So they bring in these, they bring in these new and these interesting and these awesome skins, and people are clamoring like, okay, let's take Five Nights at Freddy's, for example, right? Everybody wants FNAF. And everybody's like, Springtrap's going to be the killer. No, Freddy Fazbear is going to be the killer. Rah, yeah, we're going to blah, 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 blah. What if they bring FNAF in and then it's just a bunch of legendary skins for killers? So it's essentially the same gameplay that we've been getting, but now you might get some new Moris depending on which FNAF skin you buy. People are going to be disappointed in that, but Behavior has already proven that they have the capabilities to do that. And we have proven that we will buy stuff like that. I'm not singling anybody out here. I bought the Naughty Bear skin. I love it. It's so cool. It's funny. The narrator is funny. It's interesting. It adds a far new dynamic to the way you experience the game. Like, it's still Trapper gameplay. It's still dog shit. But like all of Naughty Bear's intros and his animations, and again, the narrator is so funny, dude. The narrator adds a completely different dimension to playing as Killer, because it's kind of like you have a little companion, and it's so interesting. And I love it. Like, you're not just paying the orc cells for a skin. You're paying for an experience. An experience that's still wrapped in Trapper gameplay. I want to just make that clear. Like, you're still playing as Trapper. It's still dog shit. But at the very least, we're still getting a new and unique experience that I feel like we can really enjoy. I'm very concerned for the lesson that this will teach. I'll give a great example. Apex Legends ended up releasing a Bloodhound skin called what they called a prestige skin. It was essentially an heirloom. It was the price of an heirloom, which, if you don't know, an heirloom has a 1 in 500 chance of opening in every pack, with 500 packs guaranteeing that you will get the heirloom. And what they basically did was they cluttered the heirloom cosmetics with a skin you can't even see. And when multiple people en masse bought it, it just gave them the leeway to continue releasing dog shit prestige skins. I wouldn't say dog shit. They're really good skins, but they're not worth the money because you can't see the skin. You can only see the weapon, which is why heirlooms were such a big thing. And it also kind of gave them excuse to just stop making new heirlooms. No, not stop making them, but like slow down their making. Like, at one point it was supposed to be that they were going to start releasing 2 heirlooms a season, but now they're releasing an heirloom and a prestige skin a season. And so you're never going to get to a point where every single legend has an heirloom. You're always going to be waiting one behind. And Behavior has a horrible Respawn has a horrible track record for like releasing things in order. They love giving heirlooms to things they're planning on nerfing so they can make a shitload of money and then nerf the problematic legend. Like, it's a scary pattern. But the point is that when it comes to this kind of thing, I've seen it before, and I'm just hoping it doesn't go down that route. I mentioned this as the same. It's a similar problem I have to the player card cosmetic things, where it almost feels like an excuse to start robbing the community of free skins. With the Naughty Bear thing, I am praying that it doesn't turn into an excuse to rob the player base of new killers or to rob them of custom Moris for their characters. I really do not want to see a future where custom Moris are only tied to a skin, because that to me is a tad predatory and also a little bit bullshit. But at the end of the day, I also know that enough people are going to buy these kinds of things that it doesn't really matter if they do start doing it. And again, I'm not absolving myself of guilt. If they release a skin like this for Pinhead or Deathslinger or Dredge, they're not going to do it for Pinhead, but if they do it for Deathslinger or Dredge or Blight, like characters I really enjoy, chances are I'm going to cave as well. But I just want it to be known that we need to be cautious about these kind of things. While I love the Naughty Bear, I love everything that comes with it, and I do think that it's well worth the 15 to 20 bucks that you'll spend on it. I do think that you get a lot for it. I also think that we need to be cautious when moving forward with these kind of things. And that's the video for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you so much. As always, a special thank you to my channel members, Alex Balex, Ryan Gesture, Tabasco Raccoon, the Cannibal Main, Spirit upgrades and nuclear bomb. I've been really good at doing these from memory. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today to do things like get thank yous at the end of videos and even view videos early, then go ahead and click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.